So I'm starting out with a piece of this blue polka dot paper. I've cut it down 11.5 by 11.5 inches. And I made a mistake earlier. I said I was using 3 files for Little Scraps of Heaven, but I'm actually using 4 because I'm using this wave and scalloped border piece. The wave part is cut in this green paper, and then the scallop is cut in the pink polka dot. So I'm just going to adhere it straight down, flush to the bottom. And this was cut at 11.5 inches width, and then I kept all my proportions the same. Now as you can see, my blue paper is a little too long. Sometimes with different paper stacks, like they're not exact, so when you cut them down to 11.5, it's not exact. But that's why we're going to adhere all of our layers, and then we can just trim it down, and I'll show you what I mean. Next I have a piece of this floral paper. This is cut at 11.5 inches by 2 inches, or 2.25 inches, and I'm going to adhere this to the top. Next I have this cloud border. This was also cut at 11.5 inches in width and then kept proportionate. And I'm going to adhere this so that the bottom of my clouds here comes right to the edge of my floral paper. And this is inked in blue ink. Because for clouds and snow, I only like to ink them in blue. I feel like if I ink them in brown ink, they look dirty, and I don't like it. Okay, so we have those adhered, and I'm going to take my trimmer, and I'm just going to trim off this little excess edge. That way I have a nice clean edge on all my papers and my layers. And then everything fits perfect. So I'm just going to take my ink dabber and lightly go against my floral piece and my blue piece. I'm going to try not to get any brown ink on my clouds. Now I'm going to adhere this to a plain piece of 12 by 12 craft cardstock that has been inked around the edges with dark brown ink. And now I'm going to take a white gel pen, and I'm going to go around the edges. I'm going to go around the edges of my layout and do a faux stitch. Okay. So next I'm going to put together my photo mats. I have 2 photo mats here. I have a 4-inch by 4-inch photo mat, and I'm going to mat it onto a 4.25 by 4.25 piece of craft cardstock. Then I have piece of, this is a scalloped square frame, photo frame. It's cut at 5.5 inches, and then I used my silhouette to make a shadow for it with the craft cardstock. And these are not perfect squares, so you have to make sure you get the right sides put together, or it won't match up. And then this one will go right in the middle. And now we can add our die cuts. So our sun's going to go in the corner, and our little rainy day teddy bear is going to come down here. And then from the Little Scraps of Heaven Designs paper piecing file, Bring on the Rain, I cut these clouds, and I cut some little raindrops. So the largest cloud is cut at 2 inches, and the two smaller ones are cut at 1.8 inches. I'm just going to figure out how I want them on here. And I cut 2 extra noses, and I'm actually going to use them as little hands, like the sun is peeking over the clouds. So I'm going to grab some artist foam. And I'm going to cut a few strips for my bear. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my photo mats. I'm just going to kind of edge these up in the corners because they are kind of large and I don't want them to take up too much room on my layout. So this cloud will go flat, and then I will pop my sun up on some foam. And then for my clouds, they're going to lay over the sun, so they just need a little bit of foam where they're not on the sun. It'll help support it like that. And then any part of the cloud that's hanging over, I will go back later and trim off. And I actually, now I'm going to put it on top. Yeah. I'm going to take my zip direct glue and put these pieces down. And then I'll add the little hands, and I'm not going to pop them up on foam because the clouds are already popped up, and I think if I, emphasize that dimension too much, it might, it'll look like the hands are too far away from the sun's body. And then finally I have some little raindrops. I'm not sure how many I'm going to use yet. I cut out a bunch so that I would have enough wherever I wanted them. Actually, I think I'm going to use them all. They all fit on here really well. So I'll go ahead and put my bear down. And then what I will do, I'll grab some more foam, and I think, let me see how this looks first. I think I will pop up every other raindrop. Yeah, I like that. So there is our completed layout, and I really like how it turned out. I think it's really cute. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.